Oh, you want a different job? Which job should I give you first? Come back whenever you taking it.
We gotta go talk to our sister. Thank you, Ecto. I appreciate it. We gotta talk to our sister now. Ooh, goody. Well, that heals us. How do I Animal Crossing? How do I... how do I Harvest Moon? How do I Harvest Moon? How do I brush the chicken? I always brush my chickens.
Yona?
Oh, hey.
How are you feeling?
Better, now that I'm taking the medicine you brought.
Good.
By the way, are you gonna stay here today?
Yeah, I'll stay.
You bet.
Really? You'll stay with me? Really?
Yeah, Yona. I'll stay.
Yay!
Now get back to bed.
Okay.
So you stayed with your sister. All of your obligations fell to the side, and you're fired. I squint and see a boy standing before me. His hair is silver, his skin is pale, and he stares up at me with hard, glassy eyes. Soon his lips begin to move, but no sound comes out. What is he saying? Can't hear him. Can't hear him. Can't hear him. I can't. I try to leave, but something about the boy holds my gaze. Watch his face expressions and his lips slowly flutter. What is he trying to say? Wait, it's a phrase. I can almost make it out. It starts with an S. There's an E? I can almost see it now. The letters begin to fall together, one after another, faster and faster. Sealed verse? It's a sealed verse. The thing I'm looking for. The key to saving my sister. I stare at the boy with renewed ferocity, trying desperately to make out his next word. Dream. Dream? What? The hell does that mean? The lips move again, faster now. Can't follow them. Damn it. Can't make it out. I want to scream. I want to tear the walls down around me, but instead I force myself to be calm. I can do this. I can do this for Yona. Slowly, ever so slowly, I phrase out the letters that make up his final words. Forest of Myth. The next morning.
Just a dream. Even in my dreams, I'm hunting sealed verses.
Morning.
Morning, Yona.
What's wrong? Are you feeling sick too?
No, I had a strange dream.
What was it about?
It's nothing. Don't worry about it.
'Cause I had a dream too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Me and this boy were playing a game together.
What kind of game?
It was called Guess the Words. I think he made it up because I never heard of it before.
The fuck?
How did it work?
The boy would move his mouth, but no words would come out. Then I had to guess what he was trying to say.
That's the dream I had!
It was hard. I wanted to play hide and seek, but we had to play his dumb game instead.
So what did he say?
I don't know. All I could figure out was dream and forest
What?
myth. But don't worry, I'm gonna study hard so that next time I can figure out everything. We should play a game together sometime too.
Sure, Yona.
We literally had the same dream.
I got your melon, Yona.
Thanks.
If there's anything else you want, just let me know.
Well, since you offered, would you mind getting me a watermelon?
A watermelon this time? Sure thing.
I'll be waiting for that watermelon.
Something troubling you, lad?
It's nothing. Don't worry about it. Come on, I need to go ask Popola something.
Popola's like, where's my drink? I've been dry for 3 days.
What's up, Popola?
Oh, hi. I just got a strange letter in the mail.
Hope this letter finds you well. I am writing in hopes to bring your attention to a certain dream issue of concern regarding events in the Dream Village. I was hoping I might be dream able to get your advice dream on the matter. Recently there have been dream reports, dream of certain dream of dream evil dream empty dream curse dream evil dream words dream and dream someone dream.
That is certainly one bizarre piece of writing.
Who's it from?
The mayor of a small village in the Forest of Myth. It's a wooded area up north.
The Forest of Myth?
They're usually a bright and cheerful group of people. Something like this is very out of character for them. I have a bad feeling about this.
I'll check it out.
You will? But...
Don't worry about it. I've got business there anyway.
Oh, well, all right. Thank you.
That was fun to read, right? Forest of dream. Dreamity dream. How do I sow seeds on my land? I wanna plant some stuff, grow melons and the such.
That poor girl.
Today was awesome. Popola made me a huge cake that was really yummy, and everyone in the village was wishing me a happy birthday. It's fun. I feel like a princess or something. I don't feel sick at all today. In fact, I almost forgot I had the disease. So maybe you can forget about it too and come back home now. Oh no! Oh my god. My heart. Every time. Hold L in the direction of an enemy and press. Okay. Press X at the right moment after a sidestep for a unique attack. Examine the field next to A2's house and plant any seeds in your possession. Oh shit. So try watering a little bit over a long period of time. Is it just this one plot right now? Oh, it's growing. Holy crap. It's pretty cool. Alright, that nicely enough, that cleared up some inventory space. Hey there, sexy boy. I'm ready to go out. Let's go on adventures. It never gets old.
Let's go.
Gold ore? Okay. I dream what you dream, dream drops. Look how blue it is. It is totally not this blue on the other screen.
Beware.
Uh-oh.
Beware. The words.
The words? What do you mean?
Contagious words. Those who dream.
Those who dream?
Hold a moment. There is a strange new sensation in my mind. It is not quizzical.
Oh, wait, what?
What's going on?
We can hear our thoughts? Wilder's body shuddered as he slowly opened his
Perhaps
eyes.
we should start by asking this man.
Who are you?
We heard something happened to this village, so we came to see if we could help.
If you can speak to me. I must have caught you in my dream.
In your dream?
Mayor explained. In the past weeks, A mysterious disease called Death Dream had spread across the forest of myth. Those who were caught in its curse, those who were caught in it were cursed to fall asleep and live forever within the world of their dream. The village mayor had determined the death dream was spread from person to person by speaking words. Or by spoken words. But before we could learn more, the disease took him as well. He stared at the mayor, his mouth twitching slightly.
Now see here. Are you saying that we have been absorbed into your dream?
Well, yes. I think you have.
In other words, we've caught the death dream?
Before the mayor could confirm A2's suspicion, Weiss exploded with rage.
Ridiculous. Preposterous. Completely unfathomable on every conceivable level. I don't even recall falling asleep.
That's just how the death dream works.
I get you, Bert. Mwah. 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 The polite, the mayor was clearly trying to brush aside the book's remarks.
My remarks are not to be brushed aside, fool.
The mayor twisted his mouth into an embarrassing grimace, then quickly changed the subject to who A2 had seen and what they had discovered since coming to the village.
Something there must have caused you to enter my dream. A certain conversation, a specific word, something.
A2 and Weiss racked their brains but couldn't find an easy solution. There were simply too many words to consider, too much random chatter, too many meaningless conversations.
Grimoire Weiss does not include
Weiss.
meaningless conversations.
The mere suggestion that Weiss chose his words carelessly seemed to sting his pride.
It does not seem to sting my pride, you bloated gasbag of a narrator.
This is so meta.
It has demolished it utterly.
Irritated, Weiss looked skyward as if searching for answers in the heavens.
I was doing no such thing. Just leave me alone already.
The anger created by his harsh words bled over to A2 like a contagion. Wait, said A2 suddenly. Did someone just say contagion? Yes, I believe so. What of it? Well, the villagers told us to watch out for the contagious words, right? The mayor leaned forward with renewed interest, pushing a startled Weiss aside in the process. He must have said something, right? Ask the mayor. Some specific combination of words, was it? It was about dreaming or something that dreams, or what the hell was it? Sheep? Cried Weiss, suddenly blurred out the first thing that popped into his head? Blurting out the first thing that popped into his head? The others stared at him for a moment before slowly shaking their heads. After a few more minutes of thought, A2's face suddenly lit up. I remember, he said those who dream. That's what he said. I'm sure of it. At this, the mayor produced a thick sheaf of papers from his pocket. He flipped through them a few times before finally nodding approval of A2. That's right, he said as a stray sheet of paper fluttered to the ground. My notes also mentioned something about that. I bet that was the thing you heard before you fell asleep. The mayor shook his head, his worn pencil stub tracing lines across a lone piece of paper. For the last month, I've done nothing but study the disease we call death dream, he said. I mean, I'm the mayor, right? It's my job to protect people from whatever comes along, but I never expected a couple of outsiders to start entering people's dreams. The mayor paused, grimace crossing his face. I should probably be taking notes or something. Weiss immediately fired back. I applaud the force of will it takes to research a disease in your dream, he said. But perhaps you should bend your efforts to escaping this place instead of trying to understand it. The mayor's hand tightened around his pencil, snapping off the tip. Tried to escape. From the very first moment I realized I was locked inside my own dream, I've been looking for a way out. But I don't think it exists. I mean, this is my dream, right? If there was an exit, I'd know about it. He paused for a moment, his unfocused eyes staring at nothing. My village was beautiful, he said. No one in particular. And it was filled with the most wonderful people you could ever meet. Oh, my village was beautiful, he said to no one in particular. But once this dream disease took hold, things changed. It's like someone took a sponge and soaked all the color out of our lives. I just want us to be whole again. I want us to be free. And I won't stop trying until it happens. A2 nodded in agreement. Wait a second. I didn't nod. Look. If we can be of any help, said A2, just ask. Now hold on, I did not say that. Silence, cried Whis. The Grimoire looked from A2 to the mayor and back again, his face filled with confidence. Grimoire's face is always confident, thank you very much. Now see here, Mayor. You told us that nothing can exist in this dream without your knowing of it. But yet you seem surprised to see us when we first arrived, yes? The mayor slowly raised his head, realization drawing on his face. Oh my god, he said. You're right. I had no idea you were coming. The human imagination is a limitless engine, said Whis. And dreams are the fuel. If you can imagine an exit, then it must be so. With your permission, we shall search it out. Thank you, said the mayor. I don't know how I can repay you. Payment is not required. We are as eager as you are to be done with this place. The mayor suddenly felt as if he could breathe again. He almost forgotten what it was like. Good luck, you two, he called the departing forms of A2 and Whis. Counting on you. As A2 slowly faded into the misty forest, the mayor was struck by a sense of deja vu. I saw this man once before. But where? A2's mood darkened as he trudged through the forest. Hours earlier, when the beauty of the place was still a new thing, he'd been confident they could get it, find the exit, and be home in time for dinner. But the deeper they went, the more the forest closed in around them. The mist made it difficult to see more than a foot in any direction, and moss-covered rocks seemed determined to twist his ankle. More than once he'd been forced to steady himself on the rough bark of a tree, and his hands now left small trails of blood everywhere he touched. Additionally, Whis was proving to be a particularly poor traveling companion. Unhindered by either terrain or physical effort, he spent most of his time urging A2 to pick up the pace and grumbling about their slow progress. Finally, after Whis muttered something about legless turtles being more adept at navigating the environment, A2 snapped. Okay, Whis, cram it for a second, would you? You don't have to walk. A2 leaned against a tree and tried to stretch the knots from his back. How can this stupid forest be so big, he muttered to himself. The moment the words tumbled from his mouth, a canopy of insects sprang to life. Every imaginable form of buzz, click, and hiss roared at a volume that rattled his teeth. A2 slapped his hand over his ears and screamed to be heard. Whis, what's going on? A2 could see Whis' mouth moving, but he might as well have been shouting in a tornado. Insects screamed, the forest howled, and then, just as A2's ears seemed ready to tear from his head and go running for cover, the sound diminished. Hesitantly, he removed the hand from his left ear and listened to the creatures of the woods. Three. Shach, shach, shach. Woo-woo-woo-ma. Woo-woo-woo-ma. As the insect symphony dimmed another decibel, A2 began to detect patterns in the sounds. This isn't random, he thought. It's not just white noise, it's something else. The insects were just calling out. They were asking a question. 1 with it is lacking, 2 with it is ideal, 3 with it is dangerous. What is it? By my pages, this is a riddle. I guess so. I mean, it feels sort of forced, but maybe it's the key to getting out of this place? Then I leave it to you to answer. 1 with it is lacking, 2 with it is ideal, 3 with it is dangerous. What is it? Secret? A seesaw? How should I know? Secret? Inwardly furious that Weiss left the task to him, A2 signed and gave the only answer that made sense. It's a secret, right? The sound of the insect stopped and suddenly as it began. The sound of the insect stopped as suddenly as it began. The forest undergrowth parted before A2 like a rippling wave opening a new path. Those forest anthropods are making a road for us, said Weiss with glee. Pleased at passing the test, A2 moved on with new intensity. The path offered his body relief from the undergrowth, but gave ever cheer to his mind. As long as they were on the path, the journey had a purpose. I guess the force has accepted us, huh? Said A2 after a bit. We spun around to face his companion. Do not mistake the will of this forest for some happy pet you can suddenly befriend. We have no idea where this path leads. As Weiss finished speaking, the pair turned a corner and found themselves facing a clear forest spring. Smiling, A2 picked up a small rock and sent it skipping across the surface of the water. Good heavens, said Weiss. The surprise was understandable. Each time the rock struck the surface of the water, a musical note rang out. Then the rock finally stopped moving and sank to the bottom of the spring. The ripples it left behind came together to form words. I enter through the window, but break no glass. When night falls, I vanish. What am I? Certainly easy, barked Weiss. Now answer it. A2 gritted his teeth and tried not to reach out and strangle his companion. He's right. After all, this one's pretty easy. I enter through the window, but break no glass. When night falls, I vanish. What am I? A bird, a letter, sunlight. Sunlight! A plume of water suddenly burst from the spring. Sunlight filtered through the trees and reflected off the plume, creating a shimmering rainbow that spanned the entire horizon. In all my years, said Weiss softly, I've never seen such a sight. Perhaps I have misunderstood the intentions of this place. Hey, look, cried A2, awaking Weiss from his daze. There's a house and something over there. Glancing in the direction of his friend's extended hand, we saw a small cottage nestled among the trees. That's weird, isn't it, Weiss? I mean, who would build a house all the way out here? A2 walked over and pounded on the door. After a minute of solid banging, the door cracked open and a small man peered out. His body was cloaked from neck to toe in a large black cape, while his face was obscured by mist. Began A2. But before he could get any further, the cloaked man held a hand up and began speaking. I have 4 legs in the morning and 2 at noon. But in the night with 3, what am I? A2 tried to ask the cloaked man who and what he was doing there, but he simply repeated the question. If we wish to engage in this man's conversation, said Weiss, it seems we must answer this riddle. Yeah, I suppose, said A2. Well, at least it's an easy one. I have 4 legs in the morning and 2 at noon. At the end of the night with 3, what am I? A man, a demon, an angel. A man? Correct. With that, the man flung his garments aside, revealing his true identity. You're the mayor, cried A2. The small man slowly shook his head. I'm not the mayor, you know. Now listen to my words. Long ago, I saw a version of you that was not yourself. Sorry? What does that mean? It will make sense in time. At present, I simply congratulate you on cracking the seal of the Death Dream. Now you must go to the person at the forest entrance. With that, the man turned on his heel and slammed the door behind him. As A2 watched the mist seeping up from the ground and enveloped the cottage, erasing it from existence. When A2 and Weiss returned to the forest entrance, they found the mayor leaning against a tree. As soon as he caught sight of the duo, he sprang to his feet and scrambled over to them. Good gravy, he cried. You made it. You actually made it back. His left hand grasped A2 and pumped it so fiercely, it threatened to dislodge it from the socket, while his right seized Weiss by the cover and swung him through the air. Gah, by the heavens, stop shaking me, fool. We have not even told you if we were successful or not. The mayor smiled broadly and shook his head. I'm just happy you're alive. I didn't think I'd ever see you again. A2 withdrew himself from the mayor's eager handshake with a slight smile. We broke the Death Dream seal, he said. At least I think we did. The mayor's face beamed as A2 filled him in with the details. When the tale was done, the three of them laid down on the forest ground and fell asleep. A2 cocked his head. Okay, hang on a second. This is crazy. Why don't we just lay down and go to sleep? Cease your endless prattle and go to sleep, fool. Fighting against the rules of this place is futility itself. A2 and the mayor obediently reclined atop the grassy earth. Have you forgotten, counted Weiss? It is words that control the Death Dream, words that allow us to move from place to place. No matter how unnatural they seem, the words are absolute. Therefore, if the words tell us to sleep, then sleep we shall. And once we do, the story will continue. With that, the trio found their eyes growing heavy, their breath slow. This is the first time, began the mayor. First time I've felt tired since I was imprisoned here. His words were cut off by a loud, long yawn, and he remembered nothing more. They might have slept for an hour or a year. When they awoke, things had slightly more real quality to them. The mist felt thicker, leaves greener. It was clear that they had awakened from their dream. A2 shook the mayor's shoulder gently. Good news, he said. I think we made it. Oh wow, said the mayor in an awed voice. We did. I'm back, he blinked, and then again, as if not quite believing the sight before him. You have no idea how much this means. That dream was spreading through the village and I wanted to, well, I thought I could figure out how to stop it, but I guess that wasn't the case. I must have caught the disease and become trapped in my own dream. The mayor started to stand and then collapsed back to the earth. He stared at his legs, of trying to remember how they worked, glanced at A2 and shrugged. Without a word, the young man reached down and pulled the mayor to his feet. Real life may take some getting used to, said the mayor, as a worried smile crossed his lips. You shall relearn in short order, I'm sure, said Weiss. From now, you shall return to your home and rest. No, said the mayor, swaying his unsteady feet. No, I can't. Some of the villagers are still trapped in the Death Dream. I have to save them. The mayor slowly made his way to the divine tree in the center of the village, then bowed his head and prayed silently. This is a holy tree, he explained. And the prayers was... This was a holy tree, he explained, when the prayer was finished. It's the guardian of our village's history and memories. Superstition will only make our mission harder, muttered Weiss. We should not put our faith in the gods. The mayor shook his head. Not the gods, the words. Legend says that our tree is home to a powerful magic known as a sealed verse. A2 and Weiss could not contain their surprise. It seemed a goal had been found. in the most unexpected of places. I say, muttered Whis, this certainly is a stroke of luck. As the three of them said their goodbyes, A2 mentioned the strange man who had given them the third riddle and the mystery words he had left with them. I once saw a version of you that was not yourself, muttered the mayor. What in the world does this mean? Lost in thought, he stared into space for a long moment. Yes, you know, he said softly. This is going to sound odd, but I had a feeling I'd seen you before, too. A2 tried to keep a straight face and failed. The mayor didn't seem to notice. Deja vu, right? Anyway, I figured it's just some kind of illusion created by the death dream. Probably doesn't mean anything. A2 gave the mayor a nod and smiled, but inwardly his thoughts were racing. There's something wrong about the mayor and his words. But what exactly is going on here? The riddle would prove to be the most difficult one of all.
Oh, thank you so much. Now I can finally return to a normal life.
This is one of the most bizarre diseases I have ever encountered.
Holy fuck.
I know. That's why we have to help the other villagers, no matter what.
Sudden magical spikes from the ground and impale enemies. Oh, cool!
For a sealed verse, that didn't take much effort.
Yes, all a touch too easy if you ask me. It's almost as if someone was guiding us to this village.
Don't overthink advice.
Vice. What is this? It's been bothering me the entire time. Magic capsule.
This person must be dreaming too.
It would appear that way, yes.
Can't say I'm very excited to go back there. That dream world sorta creeps me out.
Perhaps you should spend less time complaining and more time getting on with the mission.
Yeah.
Forrest's wonderful narrative, both in this part and before it was unlocked in the greater story. Yeah, you're right. I breathe air scented with death, and resist the urge to laugh. For I know it will sound like the words of a madman. How long have I been in this fresh hell? My prison is tucked beneath the stairway in the long, unused catacombs of some infinite castle. Outside, I hear the sound of a funeral dirge that plays without end. Light has no place here. Wind is a forgotten friend. I pray for death to come, but he forsakens me. Time passes, and eternity slips by in a single tick of the clock. Someone knocks on my prison. Anyone there? I hear an unfamiliar voice say, "My savior." I claw at the door of my jail, embedding thick splinters under my embedding thick splinters under my ragged nails. I scream for help, I laugh, I sob. Surely this is product of my addled mind. Surely it cannot be true. Help me, I cry. For the love of all the gods, help me. Possibly. I hear the sound of a lock being torn out of and falling to the floor. As the door slowly cracks open, I have just enough time to see a silver-haired boy and a floating book before the light pours inside. My eyes, accustomed to blackness, explode with pain, and I'm forced to turn away. "Who are you?" I ask, shaking my hands, covering my face. "How have you come to this place?" "I am Grimoire Weiss. This is A2. Long have we been searching for you. Now come, stand. We shall awaken from this nightmare together." The one known as A2 extends his hand and pulls me from the cell. Though my eyes are slow to adjust to freedom, my ears are keen as ever, and they recognize the staccato sound of heavy rain. "I'd never thought to hear that again," I whisper. Would that this were not such a terrible storm, were more of ice. Look at your feet. I force my eyes open and see water pooling around my ankles and lapping at my shins. There's so much of it. Yes, and more comes each moment we delay. If we do not make good escape, we shall all drown in this castle. We know you are weak, but you are our only hope to survive this place. Time, that long-forgotten friend, has made itself known again. I nodded my head and swore to save my rescuers, no matter the cost. The castle catacombs are a maze, twisting upon themselves like the endless entrails of a giant. I squint down the dim corridors and proceed north. At the end of the corridor, I find a row of 20 gorgeous canopied beds resting atop a carpet of velvet, all covered in a thick layer of dust and cobwebs. Searching for the right door to the next room, I come upon a shapeless mass of gray matter. It has been shoved against the side of the wall, and despite my fever, I think I see the outlines of a door just beyond. When I reach out a finger and touch a piece of the mass, it turns to dust and drifts away in the wind. Realization slowly draws, and I fall to my knees and weep. Corpses. I face a mountain of charred and crumbling corpses. I look from it to the beds and back again until the horror dawns full upon me. Someone has piled the bodies into a tower and set them ablaze. Whether they were alive or dead, I do not know, and sanity will not permit me to consider the proposition further. I make a sound, whether scream or laughter, it cannot be certain. Then my mind grants me merciful blackness, and I find myself opening the door and leaving the most terrible of rooms. I squint down the dim corridors, and I proceed south. I squint down the dim corridors, and I proceed north. I squint down the dim corridors, and I proceed east. I squint down the dim corridors, and I proceed north. I squint down the dim corridors, and I go north. At the end of the path, the waters rise to my waist, exhausting me both physically and spiritually. I pray this is the way out. Eventually, I can stand the sight of the waters no longer, and so turn my eyes upwards. My surprise when I see a series of paintings hanging on the faded plaster walls, each depicting a person in their prime of their life, clad in clothing of the highest quality. The styles, however, are strange to me, leading me to believe that these people had lived long, long ago. One subject wears an outfit that particularly catches my eye. It's constructed of thin, breezy cloth and decorated with a motif of flowers and birds, while encircling the figure's waist is a leather belt of the most perfect construction. It is stunning. It is a stunning costume, even by modern standards. As I gaze at the portrait, I am struck by a desire to touch it with my own hands. Yet, as I extend a single finger, well, words are hard, to the painting, I'm gripped by most unpleasant feeling. Staring closely at the image, I see it bend and wrap into a shape of another finger. I see it bend and warp into the shape of another finger. Something behind the picture is pointing at me. Is it another prisoner? A fellow inmate trapped for eternity in this place? I cannot let it pass, and so I seize the portrait with both hands and throw it into the water. The wall is hollow behind the painting, and inside, I can just make out a body. Whether or not this is a prisoner, there would be no rescue. The poor soul is long dead. Scraps of clothing lie on the floor around the bones. Only a small amount of the fabric has survived, but it features the same delicate designs that were depicted in the portrait. I've been admiring a row of corpses, blocked from view by portraits of each victim at their pinnacle. Enough! Shielding my eyes, I paddle forward through the water. I squint down the dim corridor and proceed south. I squint down the dim corridor and proceed south. I squint down the dim corridor and proceed west. The water has risen to my chin and now laps greedily at my mouth and nose. You dumb blast, shouts A2. He surely desires to say more, but the rest of his insults are cut short by the rising water. Grinmore Vice, wet and tattered, floats at the water's surface. It's already too late for him. This wasn't how this was supposed to end. I'll be right back.